Hello everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for today's Textured Hair Masterclass in Education, which is supported by Cantu. And we're really thrilled to have Dionne Smith with us today. And it's going to be a truly insightful session with some hints and tips from Dionne, who is a textured hair expert and specialist. And we're going to have a quick demo as well, which is amazing, and also an insightful discussion on the underlying issues surrounding Afro textured hair within the UK hairdressing industry and the lack of education available for stylists at all levels to look after clients from a Black and mixed heritage background. So it's going to be truly interesting. Plus, we're going to have some information about a completely free Afro textured hair and education masterclass that Dionne Smith has put together with Cantu. And we're going to have information on that in the comments section. So please do click the link, which is cantubeauty.co.uk/hair-initiative, which we've got in the comment section of this session to find out more about the free initiative. So thank you so much, Dionne, for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
And we can see you're not alone either, are you, Dionne? We have the lovely Ebony right next to you as well.
I know, she's decided to make an appearance today.
She has. We're going to have an exciting demo a little bit later, so please do stay here for that as well, which is fantastic. So obviously today's session is all about Afro and textured hair and the issues surrounding Afro and textured hair within the UK hairdressing industry. What would you say are the main issues right now when it comes to Afro and textured hair education within the UK hairdressing industry, Dionne?
I think for me, one of the challenges and something that comes up quite a lot is people just don't really know how to do Afro textured hair. And I know that, there's quite a lot of things being said about, lack of skill sets and all of that stuff. But then if you kind of strip it back, for me, it's like, well, where would they have learned?
Yeah.
The foundation, how do they learn? Where do they learn? Where to go to learn?
It hasn't been there, has it? That's the problem.
It's not been there. They haven't trained on it, and people are scared of what they don't know. That unknown. No one's going to kind of just take a leap and dive into something that they're not sure about. So I think that, things like what Cantu are doing now with the initiative is amazing. Opening up doors to introduce Afro textured hair, but there's so much more that needs to be done. And it's not that people don't want to learn, because there's a lot of demand for it. Who's offering it? Where do they go? So,
and this is a great start, isn't it, Dionne? Because we're starting the conversation, and I think that's the good starting point, isn't it? And making something available for people to get involved with, without any judgment as well.
Exactly.
So anyone tuning in, we've got the amazing Dionne with us. If you're tuning in live, please do feel free to ask her any questions as well. And we're going to be doing another session next month as well, aren't we, Dionne?
Yes.
So there'll be opportunities again to ask more questions and to eat up all of this knowledge while you can as well. And anyone who's tuning in live and has maybe not heard about this Cantu initiative, can you tell us a little bit about it and the fact that textured hair brand Cantu is offering a free textured hair masterclass around the UK?
Yeah, so initially it was supposed to be for around the UK because we were supposed to be doing the masterclasses in person, but because of COVID, it kind of somewhat, so we wasn't able to offer those in person, although we are leaning towards and we are getting a lot of requests for that. However, it's kind of been a little bit of a blessing, because now we were able to put the masterclass online and reach a wider global audience. And we're getting a lot of interest from people all over, colleges, universities, institutions, people that really have never seen or dealt with textured hair, that really want to know how to. So I just think that what Cantu is doing is really, really amazing. And this is their way of almost giving back to the community and saying, we care about it and we want you to know about it. Obviously, they have products that, for textured and natural hair. So, if you're confident in knowing what to do and how to do, then it's a win-win, isn't it?
Definitely. Why did Cantu decide to launch this initiative for the hairdressing industry?
Say that again, sorry?
Why did Cantu decide to launch this amazing initiative for the hair industry?
I think Cantu really just wanted to give back to the community. That was one of the things that came up quite a lot. And then because I was obviously a part of that, and I am their natural hair expert, and I am very passionate about the industry as well, it was just almost like, well, this is their way of giving back. This is their way of contributing and almost like starting something. So this initiative is really great, because if you've never kind of touched Afro hair or textured hair, this is a great way where you can it's like a very basic introduction to, but there's enough in there for you to really grasp and kind of take that and run with it, and then also move on to other stages following that. But I just think sometimes it needs to start somewhere. So Cantu started it.
Fantastic. So thank you so much, Cantu. And don't forget, we've got the link in the comments to find out more about how you can get involved with a free masterclass. And for anyone tuning in, Dionne, who is keen to get involved with this free masterclass, is it open to anyone and everyone, or is it more specific to students, or who can get involved with it?
I think it's definitely something that's open to anybody. And when I say that, you know, hair enthusiasts, people that want to learn more about their own natural hair, students, freelancers, what I found is that we've had quite a lot of like freelancers, salons and colleges that have been tuning into the masterclasses, but we're getting interest from everywhere. So I would just say, if you have an interest in, you know, Afro textured hair and you want to learn a bit more about it, jump on, you know, sign up at Cantu. It's a free masterclass. Knowledge is key. There's nothing wrong with getting that knowledge. It's free, you know, and it's an amazing thing. So yeah, sign up. If you've not dealt with textured hair before, you have any questions, it's an opportunity for you to be able to ask me those questions as well. But there is quite a lot in there, and you will be able to come away. I mean, some of the feedback we've had has been amazing. People said that they feel more confident, that it's really helped them. I've had like tutors actually like send me private like messages saying, oh my God, thank you so much. Like they want to bring other students on. It was so amazing, so insightful. And they're like, we don't get anybody doing this. We don't get the opportunity. So they're really grateful to Cantu as a brand to be able to just offer that to them.
That's incredible, Dionne. And you mentioned that due to obviously the world we're living in with COVID, it is an online masterclass. That means anyone can get involved.
Yeah.
Does that mean, would you need like, obviously we've got the lovely ebony doll's head, which is sat next to you right now, Dionne. Would you need like an ebony doll's head, or you know, a client or a friend or relative sat in front of you with Afro textured hair to follow along with?
No, so the masterclass is actually pre-recorded. So there's parts where I'll be talking through, you know, all of the like sort of logistics, so all the products and recommended tools, that sort of thing. And then outside of that, the actual demos are pre-recorded. So I've pre-recorded them, and then I talk through step by step, like how to achieve certain looks, how to detangle, what products to use, how I achieve this, how you can stylize, how you can go from day to evening, how you can, you know, spruce up looks and stuff like that. So it's all pre-recorded. And then it's just something that you can look back on, take notes, and then go off and practice yourself.
Amazing, brilliant. So you don't need any tools on you.
No, not to attend the masterclass. No, you can just be there, and it's literally just jotting stuff down, and then, you know, you can revisit it and look at it when you need to, and then you can just go away and practice what you've learned.
That's amazing. And you mentioned it's kind of like hitting the basics, isn't it, Dionne? So do you have any advice or suggestions for someone who's maybe attended the free masterclass or wants to know what to do next after they've watched the free masterclass, as to what the next step is once you've mastered the basics or understood the basics for Afro textured hair?
I think practice is key. Practice is definitely key. So I think like practice makes perfect. The best thing to do is to keep practicing. You know, there's ways that you can do that. You can like maybe offer reduced prices, or you can offer like a training day, sort of like to what colleges do, where they have clients come in and you just kind of, you know, offer things at a cheaper rate to just cover your overheads. So that's a good way to do it. Also, Cantu, I'm not sure if a lot of people are aware, they actually have a curl awards, which they do every year, and they open it up, and it's not just for professionals, it's for hair enthusiasts, people that are really interested in textured hair. And it's a way that you can enter and, you know, get creative with hair. And like, it's going to be on, I think this year is the 3rd year running. I'm one of the judges as well. So and I enjoy doing it. It's amazing. And the last 2 winners have been like really out of this world. The last winner, in fact, that's their ambassador now, said that she actually saw it on my post, and she was like, you know, I'm just going to give it a try. And she never expected to win, and now she won. You know, she's working with Cantu, she's their ambassador, she's doing great things, and I've even had her assist me on a celebrity shoot quite recently as well. Wow. So she's like, you know, she was like, and that was all from me just seeing it and thinking, well, let me just give it a shot, and that's all it takes. Just give it a shot. Like, you know, what's the harm in it? What are you going to lose?
Yeah, exactly. What have you got to lose? Yeah, and you'll get to meet and chat to experts in the field, won't you? Even if you don't get to the end level, you can have those conversations.
That's right.
And if someone tuning in maybe wants to get hold of an Afro textured hair model so they can play with their hair, would you put a post out on social media, or how would you get those clients into the salon so that you can experiment with
me? I use my social media quite a lot. Like, it's for me, I find that that's like where I do everything on it. So anything I want, I tend to put it out on stories or on my feed. And generally, if you're looking for something, others will tend to like kind of ping it off to people or share it with other people. But yeah, it's a great tool. It's free. You don't need to pay for it. So really utilize your social media. Or outside of that, we have our amazing Ebony doll. So you're free. I mean, this is probably the safest option. You know, that's another way that you can practice. Just put your hands on
anyone's hair with Ebony. Yeah.
Exactly. Destroy Ebony instead of destroying the real thing. Get confident there, and then you can kind of move on to doing, you know, real hair. So there's loads of ways that you can do it. But yeah, definitely utilize social media. It's there and it's free. So just put it out, bite the bullet, take a day out, and you know, do some training and just offer some reduced prices and just practice. Can't go wrong.
Dionne, we've got a lovely comment from Becky who's tuning in live. And she said, this is amazing. 15 years ago, when she was at a college, she asked why she couldn't learn about textured hair, and she was told she would need to go somewhere else to learn about it. She's based in Wales. So she says, like, having things like this is amazing, absolutely fantastic. So she's really grateful.
Oh, I'm really happy to hear that, Becky. And it's funny because that comes up a lot, even in a masterclass, and even like when I'm putting stuff out, people are like, oh, if this was hair 10 years ago, I'd still be in hair. Some people actually have walked away from the industry because they've not been able to learn textured hair. And then there's nowhere that's really offering it. Where do you go? I get the question all the time. All right, so how do I learn it? So a lot of, you'll find maybe hairdressers of today, when it comes to textured hair, have taught themselves. So they've learned, obviously, they've got the qualifications. They've learned the, you know, the science and all of that around it, and they've just adapted it to textured hair, almost like self-taught when it comes to textured hair.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, Heather, she's tuning in live, and she said she's looking forward to watching the masterclass, and she's just signed up to it.
Oh, amazing.
Thank you so much, Heather. Yeah.
Yes, Heather. I look forward to seeing you on the other side.
Brilliant. And Lorraine has just said, joined, love this opportunity. So it shows that you know, this initiative by Cantu, it's incredible, isn't it? There is that space in the hairdressing industry for it, and we do need it.
Definitely.
Amazing. So we've spoken about what to do once you've got to the basics of textured Afro hair, and once you've tuned in for the masterclass. How can salons and students and stylists shout about their knowledge and expertise in Afro textured hair? Because I guess once you've learned it, you need to then make sure you can carry on using it. Otherwise, those skills are going to start to deteriorate, aren't they?
That's right. I would say definitely going back to social media. Yeah, I would say definitely going back again to social media. It's such a powerful thing. You know, whatever platform you choose you're on, or you choose to be on Pinterest. There's so many platforms, Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram. They tend to be really good platforms for showing skill sets. So just like take really good pictures. And I thought one thing I need to say to people as well, when you're doing social media, really take pride in what you put out. Like, don't just take any picture in any angle and just like kind of fling it up. Like, you're selling yourself. Everything you put out is a reflection of yourself. So just take it serious. Like, if you have to invest in a ring light or some sort of lighting, like get lighting, make sure that your camera is like sharp, it's getting the detail of what you're doing, and post stuff up. Do mini videos. People love videos. Do mini videos. It doesn't have to be the whole head, the whole makeover. You could just take a section and show like just you doing something on that particular section, but just put stuff out so people can see that you are practicing and that you are, you know, working around textured hair. And what you'll find is one post will lead to 10 clients and then it just keeps going on and on and on.
Exactly. And do it well.
Yeah, and do it well.
Do you have any hints and tips for how to make textured and Afro hair look its best on an Instagram grid, let's say? Like, do you do anything in particular?
I don't do anything in particular. I'm just a little bit of a perfectionist. I like everything perfect, and I try to do things as neatly and as tidily as I can, because, you know, people are paying for a service, so I'm very just like that anyway. Yeah. But I would just say, yeah, just making sure obviously that your camera is not pixelated, so the image is not blurry. So, you know, make sure your phone's in focus when you're taking pictures. And an iPhone is fine. You don't need to go out and buy all this expensive camera equipment. Android, the cameras on them are really good, especially if it's for things like Instagram or just socials. It's good enough. You get a good enough quality. So just make sure that your phone is not pixelated and make sure that the lighting's lovely. And there's nothing beats natural light. If you've got like a garden or an outside space, take them outside and just get a quick snap. Get them to do a little video of twirling, showing their hair. If the hair's been blow dried or if there's like bounce in it, they can kind of shake it. There's loads of little things you can do. But I think if you're confident and you're putting that out and you're just showing people that you know how to manage textured hair, and that will just bring them in. So just keep practicing and keep putting your work out. Don't hide it. Like, put it out there. People want to see. That's what they want to see. And then that builds confidence.
Definitely, Dionne.
Yeah.
And in your opinion, do you think salons should have textured hair specialists, or do you think everyone should be able to work to the same level regardless of hair type? So obviously in some salons we have like colorists, and we have go to for a styling or an updo, or there's different specialists, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. I've been asked this question before. I don't see anything wrong with having a specialism. I think that there's nothing wrong with people specializing in different areas of hair, because some people enjoy doing things and are better at things than others. However, I do think that everybody needs to have the basic fundamentals. So it's not that I can't do it. It's just that, Laura can do it better. But if somebody has to sit in my chair, I can still give you something. And I think that's where it counts. It's not that, okay, well, none of us can do your hair, so sorry, can you go to the salon down the road? That's not acceptable to me.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody should be able to do it. However, if somebody's better at doing different areas than others, there's people that braid really well, there's people that cut really well, there's people that deal with curls really well, there's people that color, like you said. So there's nothing wrong with having a specialism. However, everybody should be able to, if you have to, deal with all hair types and across.
That makes complete sense, Dionne, doesn't it? And equally, you could always pay a bit more for the best expert in the salon if you want.
And that's
that.
Where you find that as well. They have tiers, don't they? Like the artist, senior, junior, and you pay for, and it's optional. So everybody depends on budgets. There's someone for everyone.
Definitely, but like you say, that's interesting, isn't it? That in your opinion, and I think it makes complete sense, there should be a basic grounding, so that you can walk into a salon any day, any time, outside of COVID, when you don't have to pre-book your appointment, but you can just go in and somebody can cater for you and do your hair, even if it's not the best expert in the room. They can still do it. And I think that's a valid point. And we'd love to hear your comments of those tuning in on that as well, because it's quite an interesting debate piece, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely it is.
And this session is supported by Cantu, which is a textured hair brand within the UK. Do you have any favourites within the textured brand Cantu that you always use when you're working with Afro textured hair, Dionne?
Yeah, Cantu, like, one thing about Cantu, like, there's so much in the brand, like they've got so much to offer, and there's something for everybody. So it's just obviously finding what products work best for your kind of textured hair. But I put a few products up earlier on today, because there's quite a few that are in my kit, like, religiously. But if I had to choose two of my favorites, I would probably say number one would be the leave-in conditioner, which is this one. We all love a bit of leave-in. This product is really, really good. It doesn't weigh the hair down, and obviously it offers protection. So that would be like my first choice. And then number two, again, this is from their like main line. They've got like a couple of different lines, but this is their main line. Would be the coconut curling cream. So when I don't have braids in, my hair is short and curly. So this is what I use to kind of emphasize my curls and kind of keep them uniform. But why I love this product so much, they have loads of obviously curly products, but why I love this particular one is because when I put it into my hair, it gives me the hold, and it's not hard. It doesn't go like biscuit hold. And it's also very easy to brush out. So like by the next day, I can literally just put a comb through it and it just comes out. It just releases itself. And that's without even water. So I love this. It's like a really, really good product. So those would be my two top products, I would say, out of the amazing line.
And can you play around with those in Ebony's hair as well, Dionne?
I actually prefer to use Ebony's hair without product, because I don't like having to wash it and wet it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I actually don't like to put product in Ebony's hair at all. I just kind of work with its natural textures. And if I need to do a little hairspray, that's probably the most that I would use. But I don't really put product in her hair at all. I just play with it in its natural form. Brilliant.
I'm just going to say hello to Julie, Dionne, who's tuning in. She's very excited to be here with us this morning.
Hi, Julie.
and Jackie also asked about where to sign up for the masterclass.
So is there a link
We've got a link.
Yeah, below somewhere in the comments. Is it in the comments
Yeah.
of the box? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's cantubeauty.co.uk/hair-initiative, but we have got it in the comments as well for you, Jackie. So just have a look in there.
Or they can go onto Cantu's website or Cantu's Instagram page and just tap on the link there, and it will just, you can just search for it that way as well.
Definitely. And Becky has asked them a very good question, Dionne, and that's who stocks Cantu textured hair products.
Oh, Cantu's everywhere. Like it's so accessible. Like you can get it in Superdrugs, you can get it in Asda, you can get it in Waitrose, ASOS. It's quite widely available, and most of the Caribbean, you know, them kind of black textured hair shops, you know, they're all over the place. So you can get them in most. It's quite accessible. You can get it. It's anywhere really.
Brilliant. There you go, Becky. There's the answer to your question on that one, which is fantastic. And also, we've spoken about the products there. Are there any hair tools that Cantu does that you particularly love?
Yes, this is my favourite part. So I've got a few hair that I really love. I've taken them out. And one of the things that I love about Cantu's stuff is they're really, really durable, sturdy. Like they don't break easy. So they're really made to last. This, as you can see, is a little bit painted. And it goes to show that I really use this comb. I love this Afro comb. It's the first that I've seen where it has like double teeth. Can you see how it goes at the back?
Oh yes, you can see that. Yeah.
And it's really, really good for getting in, like especially someone like Ebony's hair, in the root and lifting it, but without kind of pulling the hair out or destroying it too much. So this is really, really good for adding volume to like twist outs, or where you want to kind of get rid of your partings, or if you just want to literally comb through your Afro. This is like a really, really amazing Afro comb. So that's one of the ones that I love. And then also they have this comb here, which is really good for detangling, and it's actually got a little hook on the end. So when you're showering and stuff, you can literally just pop it over your shower, so it's not kind of in the way. And again, because the teeth are rounded, it doesn't snag, so it just goes through the hair really easily, and it's really, really good for detangling. So I would say those two, and then my little love is this little thing here, which is a edge brush. So this is like what you use to kind of lay your edges down. And then this little comb bit at the end is what you can use to kind of shape it. So these are like my hero free products from Cantu. I absolutely love them. And I use them a lot, and they're in like my kit.
Well, anyone tuning in who's desperate to now get their hands on those, Dionne, if you go to cantubeauty.co.uk/wear-to-buy, then you can find out where to buy them. And I guess we should explain, obviously, Cantu is stocked as like a consumer brand, isn't it? You can buy it in different places, but you are a textured hair specialist and you rate it very highly and use it yourself on your clients as well.
And they have other tools as well, like soft brushes and clips and other things that like bungees. Like they really have gone to town with their tools. So there's a wide range, and you literally can stock your kit up with it. I've got everything of theirs, and everything in the Cantu range I like, to be honest. There's not anything that I don't like tools wise. Everything is fine.
That's incredible. And Carolyn, we love you, Carolyn. She's saying she's obsessed by that comb. So yeah, thank you so much.
Which one? The little one?
She hasn't specified which one. Let us know which comb you love best there, Carolyn. Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Well, we've mentioned Ebony, which is sat right next to you there, Dionne. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about the Ebony doll's head and the opportunities that she can bring to doing Afro textured hair techniques?
Yeah, I mean, for me, because I was so passionate about the industry and everything like that, I really wanted to bring out a doll that represented not just in hair form, but obviously you can see she's dark skinned as well, but just, you know, a textured black woman basically. And I wanted to be able to give people the opportunity, because a lot of the time when I speak to people, it all really boils back down to just the fear of unknowing, just the fear of they've never touched textured hair. You know, how do they even know how to deal with it? So for me, I was like, all right, let me try and create something where we can expand and, you know, include everybody so that there's a tool that they can practice on. So that's what made me kind of develop Ebony. And it's been like a long trial error. It's been a long journey, but I just think it's great that she's here and her hair's really dense, so people can kind of really get their hands in textured hair, and, you know, having to deal with it, part it, all that sort of thing, like have a real experience of how our hair actually is. Great for like braiding, great for like natural hairstyles. Her hair is actually real. It's human hair, so it can be like used with heat, and it can be coloured. However, if you do that, it will destroy her beautiful hair, unfortunately. But if it's something I'm learning, then yeah, it can be done. But it's a great way to like learn how to part. It's a great way to learn how to braid and just how to work with textured hair. And you can even add, not that she needs it, if you wanted to amp it up with some natural hair extensions, you know, if you want to create something. So it's just a good thing to, it's a good base to start from.
And it's an innovation, isn't it, Dionne? I mean, there hasn't been anything like this available before. So thank you so much to you for bringing this into the UK hairdressing industry.
Thank you.
I know there's been a lot of demand for it. People I've spoken to have been, you know, so excited for the fact that they'd ordered their ebony doll's head and it's on its way. And
I know. I'm just so happy that she's here.
No, definitely.
So
if there's anyone tuning in who's now thinking, I want one of those, how would they get their hands on an ebony doll's head?
So they're available on my website, which is signature by dionnesmith.com, or via dionnesmith.com if you tap on the signature tab. But yeah, you can just go on there and order. She's actually on at an offer at the moment, so we've taken off £50 as a kind of introduction to the market, and then she'll be going back up to her original price. But we are also offering bulks of 10 to any institutes, colleges, anybody that wants to kind of buy them for that. And amazingly, Cantu have brought a massive portion of ebony dolls that they are actually distributing to institutes and colleges and people that come onto the hair initiative masterclass. So they're sending out dolls to people that take part. So, you know, get involved. It's free. You might end up with a doll.
That is incredible, isn't it? And like we've said before, to get involved with the free Cantu textured Afro hair masterclass, you don't need anything, but it's probably going to inspire you to want to play with Afro textured hair and want to sort of, you know, do some braiding, do some styling, etc. So having the ebony doll's head is a great accompaniment to that, isn't it?
It is. And I think a lot of the times once somebody's achieved something, it makes them want to know more. So, you know, if they do something once and then they went, oh, actually, that went too bad. They want to do more and they'll learn more. And then before you know it, they'll be just like me, like just doing Afro hair like it's like, or textured hair, I should say, like it's nothing. So, yeah, you got to start somewhere.
Definitely. We've got a question here from Nikki. So thank you so much, Nikki. She said, going back to when you spoke about everyone having that fundamental skill set in Afro textured hair, what are your thoughts on Afro textured hair being styled by someone who doesn't have that hair texture in the salon?
I think for me personally, I don't have a problem with it. I know some people will have a problem with it, but I think that's only because of where we are today in terms of a lot of the time, it's just been poor. People don't actually know what they're doing. There has been a lot of people that have gone through really bad experiences. So I think it's going to take some time for us to turn that around. But I think this is why it's important for people that don't have our hair type, that are dealing with our hair type, to be posting and showing that, yes, they do know what they're doing and building that confidence in their clients. But I don't have a problem. I will do, you know, European hair. I don't have a problem. People will sit in my chair and I'll blow dry and I'll cut and I don't have an issue. So I don't see why it should be the other way around. And I think a lot of the time that stigma is because of just the bad experiences that have happened to date. Yeah. So, like, you know, things like what Cantu are doing with this initiative. And, you know, now obviously we're in, I don't know if a lot of you are aware, but they're, you know, Afro hair has been made a standard now. So it's not something that you need to choose to do or go out and learn. It's going to be inclusive. We're at the early stages of that. So I think that slowly things will change. And I think it's all about confidence. If you're confident about doing, you know what you're doing, no one's going to have an issue with it. You just need to know what you're doing. And that's what it boils down to.
Most definitely. And you mentioned the hair standards there. That was literally a couple of weeks ago that news came out that the hair standards have been made to be more inclusive and it's written into the standards. So hopefully that should start to trickle through.
Exactly.
And a key, I don't know about you, Dionne, but I kind of feel like a key theme around this whole subject is fear and anxiety for the stylists who are maybe scared and nervous about working with Afro textured hair, but also for the client who is scared about having someone work on their hair who isn't confident working on their hair. Exactly.
Because nobody wants that. Like, and some of the times you can actually see if somebody's not confident, and it doesn't make you feel good if you're sitting in somebody's chair and they're like, you feel it, you can tell that the person don't know what they're doing. So, you know, I think once people, it goes back to the fundamentals, once people learn it, and they're educated in it and they have that confidence, then, you know, I think that we will slowly start to see a change in that.
It sounds like there's a bit of a two-step process, isn't there? There's sort of learning the basics, whether that's through the free masterclass and experimenting with the ebony doll's head, but then also shouting about your skill set so that people won't feel nervous to come into your salon because they see it all over your social feed and see what a great job that you're doing.
Exactly, yeah. And I think, yeah, that's it. It's all about just practicing and just learning it. And it's not hard. It's hair. All right, it's textured, but it's still hair. Like the basics and, like we said, the fundamentals is exactly the same. All of our hair contains the same things. The cuticles, it's all the same. Like, it's just knowing how to kind of manage it, you know? A lot of the time people are scared because it is quite dense, it's fuller, like how to manage it. So I think that once you kind of get past that, you'll be fine.
Yeah, but just getting your hands in it and playing with it.
Yeah.
Use the ebony doll's head to experiment.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, do you know what, Dionne? I think this is the perfect time for you to show us a little bit of a demo on ebony, if you're happy to do that for us.
I'll show you.
Everyone's been staring at her for so long. I'm sure they're desperate to see what you'll be able to do with her.
So I'll do something really quick and simple, and I'll just explain a little bit. So obviously with ebony, as you can see, her hair is textured to look and feel like textured hair. One of the great things about ebony is her hair can actually be, I'll just show you, it can be parted in like any direction. So the hair is actually put in strand by strand.
And is that one of the combs that you showed us before?
So this is a tail comb. This is one of Cantu's as well. And what I like about this is it's actually heat resistant as well. But this is a really great comb to practice partings. Some of them you'll find as well, they have like a metal piece at the bottom. So these are the combs that I would, anytime I'm parting hair, I would always use a tail comb, whether it's the plastic bottom or the metal bottom. But I find that it gives me really sharp, like, parting lines when I'm parting. Brilliant. So I'll do a quick something on ebony. I'm gonna just create I'm gonna part out a little section at the top here, and then
she's got a great set of hair there, hasn't she, Dionne?
She has.
Yeah.
And I purposely made sure that her hair was full, because you'll find that the average person that has textured hair, this is what their hair would be like. Yeah. And I feel like you need to learn to kind of manage that, you know? So I purposely made sure that her hair was full and it was dense, so that you could get a true sort of, a real experience where that's concerned. So I'm just gonna put out a little bit at the top, and then I'm gonna create a couple of braids on the two sides. And I don't have much time, so I'll just do something really. Yeah,
that's fine. Quick. Everyone tuning in is desperate to see what you'll be doing with her, so don't worry, Dionne. Take your time.
So these clips, again, they're made by Cantu, the crocodile clips. Like, they're really amazing. You can see they kind of move around.
Oh yes.
What I love about them is it really holds like weighted hair, so hair that's really full. Yeah. Sometimes the other clips, they pop off, so these are really good because they literally just grab the hair and they really hold it into place.
So it's useful in the salon to have specific clips that will work.
Yeah, these are crocodile. They're referred to as crocodile clips. So it's always good to have like a variation of clips. Do you know what I just realised? My top is black and the hair is black, so I'm hoping that you're seeing what's happening.
I think we're all
what I'm going to do, I'm going to just, maybe if I do it like this, I'm going to just show you how I part. So I would always just use the tail of my comb to create a parting. I'm going to do a little braid on this side.
Maybe Tina, who's streaming the session for us, maybe she'll be able to change this into a gallery speaker view, so that we'll be able to see this bigger on the screen as well. Okay. I'll just ask Tina if she's, there we go. So it's much bigger for me to see. There we go. Thank you, Tina.
Thank you, Tina.
We love you, Tina.
I'm going to just clip that hair out of the way.
Oh, Kesha, who's tuning in, has said those Cantu clips are so handy.
They are. They really are.
And Carolyn came back earlier and said it was the double pick that she's absolutely obsessed with.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I love that comb. Honestly, it's like the best. So Ebony's hair is really obviously delicate. So you can see, I tend to just kind of go through with my fingers. And as well, like fingers are a great way to detangle. You'll find that when you're working on textured hair, you will use your fingers quite a lot as well. So there's nothing wrong with kind of starting with your fingers, and then if you want after that, you could go through with a comb. Most of the time when you're detangling though, even on textured hair, it will probably 9 times out of 10 be wet in the real world.
Yeah.
But obviously this is just a demo. So
and is that a better way to make sure to avoid damage, to just use your fingers to get rid of
yeah, so I would always start with my fingers. Like if there's any sort of like real sort of tangles, I would start with my fingers first, and then once I've finished with my fingers, then I would go with something like the detangling brush or like a wide tooth detangling comb, and I would just comb through. But I wouldn't normally, if I'm detangling, I wouldn't normally do it on dry hair. The hair I would normally spray it down with water, all of that. But like again, we cover all of this in the masterclass.
Brilliant.
And I think detangling is really the basis of anything when you're working with textured hair. So it's really important to understand the detangling process. So that anybody that wants to learn that, definitely come in on sign up for the masterclass. It's free, and I'll go through it in more detail. And I've actually got a step-by-step video that shows you every single step to detangling as well.
Amazing.
So yeah, so I will just, you can see now that I've got a really nice clean parting. Can you see that? Yeah. And that's from the tail comb, so it's really nice and clean. And I'm really fussy about having clean partings on that side as well. So that's my section of hair. And then all I'm going to do with this now is I'm going to just braid it. So I'm going to just put it in a nice big braid.
What style of braid are you doing there?
So this is called a cornrow, because it's not just a single braid. It's a cornrow means like when it travels up the scalp in any direction. So that's what a cornrow means. Right. And as you see, every time I'm cornrowing, I'm making sure that when I'm going through, I'm pulling through. So when I'm taking a section of hair, I'm making sure that I pull it right through, just to avoid the hair tangling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's...
You're gently making sure that it's all kind of still in the same direction.
Yeah. So you can see there, that's my first cornrow. Then I'll just plait it out. But I don't know if you can see that. That's like one kind of
yeah, yeah, we can. Yeah, lovely.
So it's a bit dark, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little bit dark, but when you kind of go close up, we can see it.
Yeah. My lighting is not great, and then there's me telling you about lighting. But yeah, can you see that? Yeah.
Yeah, we can see it. Can she come in? Maybe at the end, if you bring her closer at the end.
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
Do a good little tour around her hair.
Yeah. So I'm going to put another braid in. I'm just going to braid the two sides, and then I'll probably make this into a little quiff, and then I'll leave the back out, just create like a little look, and then I'll just finish her off, and then you guys can...
Brilliant.
I'll bring her a bit closer so you can see what's going on. So again, just making sure the parting is nice and neat. Partings really do make or break your look, so I'm really fussy about having clean partings.
That's a great tip though, Dionne, isn't it? So it's to take your time perfecting the partings and the detangling, like all of these steps which may seem simple, it sounds like it's crucial for you to nail those first.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So again, I'm just using my fingers to just make sure that her hair is detangled, so that when I'm going through and braiding, I'm not going to get caught. It's not going to snag as I'm doing that. So I'm going to start my braid on this section now. I'll start with 3 pieces.
The Cantu Masterclass, is there a lot of availability for it as well, Dionne, for anyone who's tuning in and is now desperate to tune in?
Because it's, the great thing is, because we do obviously try to cap the classes, I think at about 80 was the max, but yeah, there's a lot of availability, and we're running them once every single month for the rest of the year. And then obviously next year we'll kind of look at where we're at and revisit that. But And again, because it's online, you know, we are able to have quite a lot of people in the room. It's really great because people do tend to like there's like little activities that we do at the end, and people are able to ask questions about the masterclasses that they've seen. And then also we open up the floor. Can you see those two braids there at the side? We open up the floor. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side for questions about just anything industry or product specific, so people can ask questions as well. But the feedback has really been like amazing, to the point where I was like, wow, I knew people needed it, but I didn't know that
there's that much demand for
it. Yeah. I was actually
even during this session, Dionne, we've had so many people say that they've signed up to it, super excited for it, and really happy that this has been put together.
Oh, I'm really glad. Really glad.
And we should add as well, shouldn't we, Dionne, that the Cantu free masterclass Afro textured hair initiative, it has been partnered by Habia.
Yes, that is right. Habia, obviously, for those that don't know, is almost like they help to write the standards. They're recognised by the government. They've been around for many, many years. Have a really big reputation in the hairdressing industry. So to have somebody like them supporting this is like a really big deal for us. It's just amazing, to be honest, that they've got behind this, and you know, they've seen themselves that there's a need. And obviously they were part of the whole standards, weren't they? So I guess we know, you know, the importance and
of the inclusivity within the hairdressing standards. And obviously it will take time for things to change, but things are moving in the right direction, aren't they, Dionne?
They are. And as long as they're moving, I'm happy.
Yeah.
It might be baby steps, but as long as it's moving and it keeps going in the right direction, definitely. Eventually we'll get there, you know?
And Dionne, I mean, you're having a massive part to play in that, because, you know, being part of this masterclass with Cantu, offering that education to everyone for free, creating the ebony doll's head so that students and indeed qualified hairdressers who want to get their hands on Afro hair can do so. I mean, you've got a massive part to play in this as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. On behalf of the hairdressers.
It's not been easy, but you know, someone's got to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
It just takes for one of us to start, and once one of us starts, you know, people follow on. So
definitely.
Hopefully, this will be like a turning point.
So what we're doing here, we're doing a cornrow on the other side.
I'm doing a cornrow now on the other side, and then I'm going to do two just to kind of make them kind of so it's uniform.
Yeah. And
then I'll just do a little pin up at the top, and I'll show you all. She'll be good to go.
Finished gorgeous hair. So in the salon, would you iron out slightly longer for working on Afro textured hair compared to, say, European hair in terms of appointment for styling?
I would say probably, it depends. It depends on what service they're having. And also it depends on how quick you are generally, because for me, I am quite quick with Afro hair. It doesn't take, obviously I've been doing it for so long.
Yeah.
It doesn't take me long to do a style. It depends on what they're having, but generally I can get someone's hair done. If it's just like to style it up for, I don't know, an event or a special occasion, I can get that done within 45 minutes. But it depends on literally what they're having. If it's like braids and stuff like that, you know that it's going to be a bit more time consuming because they do take longer. Treatments, it just depends, but no, not necessarily. It depends on the service, I would say.
Yeah.
Some things you can kind of, you know, do a bit quicker. Some things it's going to take a bit longer. But obviously, if you're not experienced, then it may take you a little bit longer initially until you kind of get the hang of things.
Yeah.
You just learn how to kind of get around that head a lot quicker once you're a bit more experienced.
And I guess if you're not as confident, it's better to allow yourself a bit more time. So it's not.
Yeah, definitely in the early stages. I would definitely agree with that.
If you were in those early stages, would you charge the client for the extra time, or would you just take that in so that the client isn't having to pay for that extra time?
Yeah, no, I would not charge for extra time. Like, you can't be like, you know, penalized because it's taking me long because I'm, you know, I don't know, or I'm still learning, or so I wouldn't charge for time. Service is a service, whatever the service is, it's that, however long it takes, you know. That's how I see it anyway. That's my Yeah.
That makes complete sense, Dionne.
Yeah, I've heard that before actually, and I'm just like, how can you be charging someone because their hair's longer? I get it in terms of length sometimes, if it's like a color or a relaxer or something like that, because obviously there's length. But outside of that, you can't really penalize somebody because, you know, you're not quite there yet, or it's taking a bit longer than normal, because that's not really their fault, kind of thing. So
that's about doing the practice, maybe with the ebony doll's head, practicing to get your speed up.
Exactly. So we are. I'm losing you a bit. So, Ebony's traveling.
She's on the move.
All right, so I've done 2 camos on either side. I'm just going to beautify. So I'm just going to kind of tidy it up a little bit, create something. So I'm going to just spruce the back out like that. These bits, I'm going to just overlap them. At the top here.
In a similar vein, Dionne, Nikki has asked, do you think prices for services, should they differ between textured hair and non-textured hair?
No, I don't. I charge the same price across the board, whether it's textured or not. But you'll find that some of the services will be different. So for instance, you know, the way we perm our hair is different from the way we would perm, you know, European hair, for instance. It's different price. You might need to price it different in terms of, because it's different products and the cost could be different, you know? But generally, if it's a shampoo and blow dry, or if it's I charge the same price. So the only thing that changes is experience in terms of the stylist. Obviously, that's when I had my salon. I don't have my salon anymore. I'm freelance, but we did have tiers, and it didn't matter what the hair type was. It was just the service.
Yeah. No, that's a great question, Nikki, and thank you so much for answering that one for us, Dionne.
So I'm just tidying up. I'm going to show you a bit closer once I'm done. So I've just, and then I'm going to do, what am I going to do with this bit? I think I'm going to make this into a little bit of a quiff, just to make it a little bit stylized.
I do wonder as well, Dionne, if that question kind of hit the nail on the head, where some anxiety and fear comes from the fact that salons might think that textured hair will take up a lot longer in the chair.
Yeah, that's a good question, actually.
Compared to a non-textured.
I think once they kind of get their head around being able to do it, and it's like you said, it's that anxiety and the unknown.
Yeah.
They'll realize that actually it's not as bad as they think.
Yeah.
But I would challenge people, just, you know, sometimes you can just, I don't know, if you have any friends that are in the industry that works on textured hair and you can spare a half a day, you know, maybe in the week when you're less busy, just go in and watch, or, you know, say, can I go in and kind of, I don't see anything wrong with that. Like,
yeah,
I would.
That's a great point, Dionne.
We all have industry friends, you know.
Yeah. And even, I mean, it's a very sharing industry as well, Dionne. So even if you don't know someone who's a textured hair specialist, you could always DM them on Instagram and just say, love your work. Would you mind if I just came in one day and observed?
So I've given her a little bit of a quiff. I've given her some braids. And then I'm going to put on her earrings. So her ears are pierced.
Oh, that's brilliant, Dionne. Did you choose to do that?
Yeah. Her ears are pierced.
Oh, I love that. I've never come across a doll's head with pierced ears before.
It would be nice to just be able to like do that.
So start her up. She's ready to go now. She's ready to go.
I normally put I've got like a necklace that I normally put on her. I dress her up. I really make an effort because she likes to be dressed properly when she's going out. So you can see I've done a little bit of a quiff at the front.
Oh,
you see that?
Yeah.
And then I've done braids either side. Sorry, it's a bit. Can you see the braids on either side?
Can we go in a little bit closer to see the braids as well?
Can you see them?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, and on the other one as well. I've been going closer. Brilliant.
And I've just pinned it down at the top there.
Fantastic.
And that is our ebony.
That is incredible. Thank you so much, Dionne. That was brilliant.
She's going out now. She's ready for the road.
She is. Oh, wow, she's got the shades and everything. She is ready to go. I think
Ready
that's
to
got
go.
the most glam doll's head I've ever seen, Dionne. I absolutely love it.
I love her. Honestly, I play with her all the time. So yeah.
No demo on a doll's head now is going to be ever complete without a pair of shades and some earrings. I think you've set a standard here.
That's right. That's right.
Incredible. Nicola Barrett has just said she's been tuning in and she's absolutely loved it. So thank you so much, Nicola.
Oh, thank you, Nicola.
This has been an absolutely fascinating session, Dionne. You've shared so many insights with us. It's been incredible, as well as this demo, which looks incredible on ebony.
Yeah.
And just to remind everyone about the fantastic opportunity that you're doing with Cantu. I'm just going to make sure that I give everyone the correct links. Obviously, this session has been supported by the textured hair brand Cantu, which Dionne works. You work very closely with them, don't you?
Yeah, I'm actually their natural hair expert. So that's my title there.
And that's an incredible endorsement because obviously, Dionne, we all know you are an incredible textured hair specialist. So the fact you work so closely with them, and you've been working so closely with Cantu on this amazing Afro textured hair education masterclass, which is completely free. So even if you feel like you know the basics on Afro textured hair, there's no harm in going back to them and revisiting them, is there, Dionne?
No, that's right. There's no harm. I think sometimes it's just nice to be, refreshed as well. Sometimes you're just kind of going about everything every day and you're used to it. But sometimes you might pick up a tip or two. There's no harm at all. I always say just keep educating, keep refreshing yourself. There's no harm in it. It's only going to help you and better you. It's not going to take anything away. So if you have the time, it's definitely worth visiting.
Yeah, and it's completely free. So because the Cantu brand has made it completely free, it's not going to cost you anything.
That's right.
So you can pick up those extra hints and tips on maybe one of the basic steps that you've been missing or haven't been doing correctly. And you can get that, you can tune in to book into the free masterclass, which is once a month online, didn't you say, Dionne?
Once a month, yeah. It's normally the last Wednesday of the month, and it's normally held in the morning. So if you go on to Cantu, register, there's a form. You just go in, put your details in, and then somebody from the Cantu brand will get in touch and they will kind of book you on a session. You'll have options, so you can kind of choose what month works best for you. But we have got another, they're literally happening every single month for the rest of the year. So we've got another
that's
6.
incredible. So we're on the second to last Wednesday of the month today. So does that mean there will be a session next Wednesday, for instance?
That's correct. Yes, they
might well be fully booked after this, but if there is any availability for that, please do try and get into it. But it is every month, so even if you can't, choose a date and a time that works best for you. Yeah. And you can tune into that for free once you've registered at cantubeauty.co.uk/hair-initiative. And we've got that in the comment section of this live session, whether you're tuning in live via Zoom or via Facebook as well, which is fantastic.
Amazing. And guys, if you want to know a bit more about Cantu, and if you're on Instagram, do check out their Instagram page. It's at Cantu Beauty UK. They share so much there, and they share a lot of community stuff and other people, they repost other people that are using the products and all of that stuff. So it's really great to kind of just go over and see what they're doing. And if you want to find out more about me, I'm at Dionne Smith Official on Instagram too. So thank you all for joining us. And Laura, you've been amazing.
You've been amazing, Dionne. We've absolutely loved it. And Becky's just said she's already booked and she can't wait to see it. Thank you so much. So lots of people have been tuning in and they've been booking while they've been watching. So thank you so much, Dionne. It's been an absolute pleasure. And Ebony as well, who is looking like she needs to go out somewhere amazing now. You need to take her out somewhere.
I know, I do, don't I? Thank you all for joining, guys, and take care. And those that have booked onto the masterclass, I look forward to seeing you on the other side. So goodbye from me. And thank you, Laura. Have a good day.
You too, Dionne. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.